Yo, what's good? It's your boy Young Two Times.
Your boy X, man.
Yeah, man. Today we're gonna be reacting to a Watch Mojo video. It says top things Netflix the Jeffrey Dahmer story got factually right and wrong. Before we get in this video, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all share, and make sure y'all subscribe.
The series that blew the net up. Let's get into it.
What's going on?
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, got factually right and wrong. For this list, we're looking at what was fact and what was fiction in Ryan Murphy's Netflix series about the infamous serial killer. Are you watching Dahmer? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. How Jeffrey Dahmer was caught. Right. Netflix's limited series about Jeffrey Dahmer begins with the night a would-be victim survived an encounter with the killer.
Help me!
On July 22, 1991, Tracy Edwards spent hours in Dahmer's apartment in fear, waiting for an opportunity to make his escape. And though the way in which he escaped is depicted differently in the series, Edwards did hit Dahmer and ran out of the apartment.
I hit him and I ran towards the door, and he was right there, tried to grab me, get me back in there.
Two police officers went to Dahmer's residence to obtain the key to unlock the handcuffs still on one of Edwards' wrists. Once they found explicit photos documenting some of the murders, Dahmer was apprehended, putting an end to his reign of terror.
The officers were stopped by...
And you know what I found crazy about that part? It was like, if he didn't find the photos, he probably would have ended up like the little 14-year-old boy did. Because...
Really? I mean, they wanted to just send him back in because obviously he wasn't drugged yet. And, well, yeah, pretty much that.
Didn't he have a little bit of the drugs? I feel like he had some. That's hard to being fast. But maybe he had that before, so maybe he was ready for it. Because, I don't know. Because he was able to get up out of there.
Listen, man, this is crazy. This is a crazy-ass series. Because it's like, as the ones I have seen, if you haven't seen, oh well, spoiler alert. Like, he got away with so many things because so many cops were just negligent. Because you got to think, bro, if I'm calling, like the lady that lives next door, right?
Yeah, call.
I'm calling y'all like, yo, there's some weird ass shit going on.
You come in and smell it, and you're like,
that part, I ain't gonna lie, that part was creepy. When he sat down with the lady, and he was like, yo, eat my sandwich, yo. He was like, I'm trying to show peace here. Eat my sandwich. I'm not eating your sandwich. And he's like, yo, as a sign of good faith, you should eat the sandwich. I made it myself. I made it just for you.
It's funny. When I first seen it, I thought he was going to kill her. Because she probably getting away. But it's like, you could kind of see how he is. Like, he's not violent in a sense where he wants you to be at a disadvantage before he tries to.
He's like, what's the word for it?
Like non-confrontational?
Yeah, non-confrontational, but he's a little bit charismatic enough where you would, he brought people to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of people to the house. Yeah. Where he was just like, hey, man, you want for the drink? Like, yo, just a couple brewskis, man.
That's wild.
But the brewski thing just he kept saying that.
Yeah, brewskis. I'm like, man, I don't want no more brewskis.
I don't want brewskis at all.
An individual who claimed he was in the apartment and became engaged in a dispute with the owner of the apartment and left the apartment and called the officers.
Number 9. Dahmer wore yellow contacts. Right. One of the lesser-known facts about Dahmer was his strange habit of wearing yellow contact lenses.
You see my contacts? They're just like the Emperor's. Got them at a costume shop in Kenosha.
He wore them because he felt connected to two dark characters in his favorite movies. The Emperor from Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and the Gemini Killer from The Exorcist 3. In changing his appearance to resemble these powerful fictional figures, Dahmer himself felt more powerful and predatory.
That I actually derived a sort of pleasure from watching that tape.
Did you like feeling evil?
No, I didn't. But I had tried to overcome the thoughts, and it worked for a while, but eventually I gave in.
He repeatedly watched the films before he went out to find another victim to bring home, often making them watch the films with him.
What are you going to do? Told you. We're going to hang out, watch a movie, take some pictures.
How many times do you think you can watch the same movie over and over again?
It'll take me a couple times before I'm like, alright. But there's not many movies like I could like say like 1 week I'm gonna watch it, next week I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
A month later, like I gotta space that shit out.
Imagine him watching the same movie every day.
A lot of them dudes kind of get into a routine, but that's when they get away with a lot of stuff.
I'll pay you.
Tracy Edwards also testified that while playing The Exorcist 3, Dahmer was chanting and rocking back and forth.
It was like a slow slur, like some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
Number 8. How Ronald Flowers survived. Wrong.
Jesus.
Don't worry, I'm not a cop.
Another survivor of Dahmer was Ron Flowers, who met him when his car broke down and Dahmer offered to help. He took him to his grandmother's West Allis residence and drugged his coffee. But Dahmer is interrupted when his grandmother sees that something is wrong with the young man.
You should take that young man to a hospital. What? He's just a little wasted, Grandma. I will not have some stranger dying in my house. He'll be fine. Just let him sleep it off. Jeez. No. Something is not right here.
She is adamant about staying with the unconscious guest, making sure he gets on a bus the next morning. But her actual involvement in saving Flowers from her grandson has never been reported. Like in the series, Flowers woke up in County General Hospital.
Ma'am, you OD'd. You're lucky to be alive.
But what isn't mentioned is that he was also covered in abrasions and believed he might have been assaulted. He later testified that he didn't know how he got there, though the series provides a fictional scenario.
The guy I met last night, he was weird. He must have slipped something in my drink. Dude tried to kill me.
Number 7. Dahmer posed in yearbook photos. Right.
How did he get in there?
I don't know. Dan, how did you not catch
This was
this?
weird too.
I'm sorry, I didn't see him in the
That's your
photo.
goddamn job, Dan.
The Netflix...
I was
Y'all
wrong.
taking the picture and shit?
Was it wrong or right?
I said it was right.
Oh.
Motherfucker, say you taking the picture, right?
Mhm.
That's what he would do. You sit in the picture like, oh, we taking a group picture?
But I feel like that's actually common in like high schools and shit. Colleges.
Kinda
Like
do
people
that.
showing up to be in like little pictures so you can put on their resume.
series mainly follows Jeffrey Dahmer as an adult, but a flashback to him in high school shows him sneaking into a yearbook picture for the Honor Society, despite not being a member. Yes, he actually did this, and his face was subsequently blacked out of the photo. My Friend Dahmer, both the graphic novel and its film adaptation, go further into the prank and the other club photos he infiltrated.
Excuse me, what do you... Oh, no. It's not really necessary.
Former classmates have described how his bizarre behavior in school quickly went from entertaining to concerning, given his heavy drinking.
And I remember sitting next to him in a first period, I believe, history class, and he had a styrofoam cup of scotch, I believe it was scotch. I remember saying, "Jeff, what is that?" And he threw his head back and he shook it and he said, "It's my medicine."
Number 6. Dahmer killed Dean Vaughn. Wrong. In episode 7, Glenda Cleveland meets Dean Vaughn, a new resident of the Oxford Apartments.
Sorry I snapped on you. You just gotta be careful in this neighborhood.
Well, I'm a good guy. Scout's honor.
She sees him talking to Dahmer in the hall and is visibly concerned. The series doesn't follow through with his story, but it does point viewers in a certain direction. However, Vaughn was really a tenant in the building. He was found strangled in his upstairs apartment in early May 1991. Dahmer was questioned about the suspicious death before he was arrested, and again when he was eventually caught. Both times he denied knowing him, and no evidence was ever found connecting him to the crime. As of 2022, the murder of Dean Vaughn is still unsolved.
And what about Dean Vaughn? You was talking to him in the hallway, then I never saw him after that.
Why did you make it like that? Yeah, that's kind of weird. You could have just...
That's kind of weird, though, because you think about it, it's kind of like...
Because the thing about it, that would just further show you, like, the police in that area just lack of...
Yeah, lack of awareness to anything.
Yeah, like, bro. Like, Shorty says, what she said, she had seen them go up to the apartment they had plans or whatever. And then he gets found strangled in his apartment.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of noteworthy to, like, actually put out. You know,
yeah.
Number 5. Baptized the same day as John Wayne Gacy's execution. Right.
So you never done construction work before?
No. Well, like I said, it's just stuff around the house, helping my mom, you know.
The beginning of the final episode doesn't open on Jeffrey Dahmer, but rather another infamous serial killer, John Wayne Gacy, aka the Killer Clown. In the 1970s, Gacy took the lives of more than 33 young men in Illinois until he was arrested in December 1978.
Gacy was the epitome of evil, and he was the epitome of...
They might say it, though, because I haven't seen this video, but he might have been the inspiration for the whole Killer Clown, like, thing in movies.
Oh.
Might have been. Interesting. Not 100% sure.
Sick.
being a great guy, which gave him the ability to be the most evil guy in the world.
For 14 years, the convicted murderer was on death row at Illinois' Menard Correctional Center, and on May 10, 1994, Gacy was executed by lethal injection.
John Wayne Gacy was pronounced dead at 12:58 a.m.
He got a much easier death than any of his victims. In my opinion, he got an easier death than he deserved. But the important thing is that he paid for his crimes with his life.
Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, Dahmer was being baptized by Minister Roy Ratcliffe. And, as it's briefly mentioned in the series, a partial solar eclipse also occurred that day. What does it all mean? We don't know, but this connection between two notorious killers is definitely eerie.
Congratulations, Jen. You saved. I have a challenge for all of you.
So do you think you would? You think if they let him, like,
your sister, your brother's computer,
so when somebody gets saved, right? What do you think the purpose of that is if somebody like him?
I'm not sure, because it's like, I guess the purpose of it is to be born again, absolved of your sins or something like that, if you've committed before,
yeah,
and to start anew. So I guess maybe to deal with the stuff they did, but from what we know, serial killers, they don't really have empathy.
Yeah, because
that's an emotion that they lack.
Because that's what I was trying to think. Because like when that guy killed him at the end, what's it called? He seemed like he wasn't on that anymore. But it's like if he was on the streets, would he be on that? You know what I'm saying?
He was in the hood, he would have got murdered.
Yeah.
Like, quickly. But I don't know, man. You think he purposely planted himself in the that particular black community, knowing that he can get away with stuff?
I don't think he probably did it knowing he could get away with stuff, but I think that's probably what he could afford at the time. You know what I'm saying?
That's a possibility.
And maybe he did have a fetish for black people, obviously. That's what it seems like.
Mostly black bodies.
Yeah.
For obvious, you know.
Because he seemed sad when he killed the white dude on accident.
Which white dude?
The first one?
The hotel?
No, not at the hotel. Well, he seemed bad about that one too. But I was talking about the one where he hit him in the head with the plate. With the plate? Yeah, when he was trying to go to the concert.
Jogger, right?
I don't think that. Nah, this nigga was trying to.
The hitchhiker.
Yeah, he was trying to go to a concert.
That was a different time then, though. Like, imagine that, like, dude just see you, yo, bro, you trying to give me a ride?
People still be doing it.
That's right.
Like, I don't know, like...
No, I know people still do it, but I think it was more prevalent then. Like,
yeah.
You kind of just, with what you have on you, you kind of just travel certain places.
Yeah.
But hopefully you just force it.
It was interesting in the movie, though, because he's like, yo, you said you're going to give me a ride. Give me a ride right now. I'm like, damn, this is an interesting way to ask for something that's free. Not to...
I was just...
Yeah,
That's the certain parts that was just really just odd.
Yeah, not to make light of it, just very odd, like demanding for something like a free service.
Take me now.
Number 4, victim impact statements.
You remember her from Fresh Prince? That used to be Jazz's girlfriend. Yeah, I was like, she look familiar. I'm like, what is Jazz's girlfriend from Fresh Prince?
I would like to say to Jeffrey Dahmer that he don't know the pain,
she's
the hurt,
mom.
the loss, and the mental state he's put our family in.
One of the most heartbreaking parts of Jeffrey Dahmer's 1992 trial was hearing the impact statements. After sitting through the details of his crimes, family members of the victims had the opportunity to address the court. One of the more harrowing statements came from Rita Isbell,
the girl that reacted that did it like exactly like
The series recreates the emotionally charged moment with actress Deshawn Barnes, who embodied the palpable pain, anger, and sadness of Isbell in her performance.
She probably did better than her production. Like it looked more, you know what I'm saying?
And Dahmer's own statement took a lot from the real-life one.
That I did what I did, not for reasons of hate. I hated no one.
Number 3, Glenda Cleveland lived at the Oxford Apartments. Wrong. In the series, actress Niecy Nash plays the role of Glenda Cleveland, a woman who is often overlooked in the Jeffrey Dahmer case. She interacts with him, mostly to complain about the smell and noise coming from his apartment through her vent.
I gotta say, that smell is worse than ever.
Is it?
The real Cleveland actually lived in the building next to the Oxford Apartments. The character is likely a composite of Cleveland and Pamela Bass, the woman who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat given to her by her neighbor. However, Glenda Cleveland did continuously call Milwaukee police after her daughter Sandra Smith and East Childress told her about a boy they tried to help. Number 2, Milwaukee police officers returned a victim back to Dahmer's apartment. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get into it.
It's the biggest fuck up ever.
Bro, this is some sick fuck shit. It gets worse, though, what I'm about to tell you. Right? From what I found out. Apparently, they showed it in the documentary. They got fired.
Then they got the job back.
And then they got the job back, right? Later down the line, one of those officers also became like the police, what do you call it? Police commissioner or something like that. Like he got an elevated position. And they also got awards. For doing what, bro?
Yeah.
Like for doing what?
Not protecting the green.
But I'm saying, like, I don't even know how you justify that. Like, they fucked up, right? And then you get an award for fucking up? Man, it's nice to be a police officer, right? Yeah, you fuck up and they give you awards and promotions.
Yeah. Get rewarded for that.
Hey kid, what are you doing? In late May 1991, some young women, including Smith and Childress, found Conorak Synthesophone stumbling in the streets, not in the Oxford Apartments hallway as shown in the series. They called the police to help the very young-looking boy.
He was holding on to me with a really, really strong grip thing. He was trembling, he was shaking. So I just stayed with him and I was like, I'm going to get you some help.
But when Dahmer came back to his apartment, he convinced officers Joseph Gabrish and John Balserzak that Synthesophone was of age and his boyfriend. In the series, Cleveland is at the scene confronting police, trying to tell them that he was a minor.
Wait. You just gonna let him take this baby back inside?
Ma'am, he's telling me this is where they live. We're gonna take him back inside.
Y'all don't at least want to find out how old this boy is first?
Well, see, that's the thing about the whole white privilege thing. Because if that was an Asian dude that was taking a white dude, we gotta just make sure everything's clear. Let's just look around the apartment real quick, make sure he has belongings in there.
That'd be a black dude.
Oh no, definitely not.
Locked up immediately without no evidence.
I feel like if it was a black dude, they'll probably go inside the apartment and make both of them just stay downstairs until they went through and checked everything was clear. They brought him back up and let him bring him back inside.
That's one of the wildest things in the job. To be honest, like that was bad.
Ma'am, he says that's his boyfriend.
Especially considering they get to keep their jobs and
everybody.
Despite protests from the women, the officers escorted...
Another outlook to look at it. Like, them fucking up and costing this boy's life was the best thing to happen to their career.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what they're doing now. Fuck. Probably retired.
Dahmer and his incoherent boyfriend back to his apartment. When the police left, Dahmer killed him. Tragically, this poorly handled ordeal actually happened. After Dahmer's arrest, Gabrish and Balcerzak were suspended, but later reinstated. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dahmer always wore his glasses at trial. Wrong.
Mr. Dahmer, before I impose sentence, I understand you have a statement you'd like to read.
Yes, Your Honor.
Towards the end of the series, Jeffrey Dahmer goes on trial for the murders.
You know.
While the majority of the scenes are accurately
Young head nigga, he just kept us up.
Shut up, bro. Like, come on, dog.
Like, bro, sometimes you just gotta sit this one out.
Like, sometimes it's nice in life to just shut the fuck up.
Especially when you got your own shit. Like, relax.
Sometimes it's like this.
There's one detail that was different. Evan Peters as Dahmer almost always wears the killer's trademark glasses. But the real Dahmer specifically did not wear his glasses throughout most of the trial. His reason? He didn't want to look the jury or victims' families in the face. Yes, it's a small inaccuracy in a largely true-to-life series. However, his decision to remove his eyewear is significant because it shows that he was unable to face his crimes.
Because I didn't feel accountable to anybody. I didn't feel that I had to face what I had done ever. And so you have to, comes a point where a person has to be accountable for what he's done. Can't go around making excuses, blaming other people or other things.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from watching.
Okay,
Oh man, yeah, that was 10 things Netflix got wrong about the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and got right. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all share, make sure y'all subscribe, man. We out there.